What does success look like for you? We have so many people defining how to be successful that we need to pause and define it for ourselves. How to be successful. Is it defined in your mind by a bigger house, a bigger car, and a bigger bank account? This is how traditional success is typically defined. But for the work from home and homeschool mom, how to be successful looks completely different. The Instagram reels will try to tell us success looks like six figures or a homestead or perfect sourdough bread. But that also doesn't work from home and homeschool moms. It is time to go outside of the box and define how to be successful on our own terms. We need a definition that fits real life, not a polished fantasy. Hello, Rebel Moms. Welcome to the Life Unboxed podcast. I am Jody the mom, wife, homeschool mom of six, and successful mom entrepreneur, bringing you information and inspiration on raising kids, running a business, and keeping your sanity. You can find the episode show notes, Rebel Mom checklist to help you homeschool confidently, tools to make your work from home life easier, and more information at lifeunboxed.blog. Be sure to check out the description below for show notes and links. Let's get into the show. The problem with the traditional definition of success. The usual definition of success, or how our culture views success, is often measured by money, titles, or some kind of visible achievements. While these things do matter in some instances, they don't tell the whole story for a mom juggling kids, clients, and home. Success is often defined by a big promotion, awards, an increase in income, and visible public milestones achieved. These are easy to see and applaud. On the other hand, a mother's work is often done behind the scenes. It isn't visible to the public. We are growing businesses, serving clients, teaching kids, making meals, and keeping everyone's schedule. This isn't flashy. Most people don't post it on Instagram, and it doesn't always get applauded, but it is worth it. If we want to define success on our own terms, then we can't look to the traditional definitions of how to be successful because they don't fit. That's why it feels discouraging when we try to define success according to the usual standard. But we've carved out our own path, and that requires a new definition of success. So, how to be successful as a work from home mom? Real success as a work from home and homeschool mom needs to be shaped around purpose and values. Your ideas of success need to conform to what works for you. You can't be shaped by the traditional view of success because that is like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. If success is going to fit you, then it must be shaped by you. Think about what is important to you. Is being home with your kids, being the biggest influence in their lives, having slow mornings, spending time together? What do you value, and what is the purpose of your homeschool? Success comes down to doing what matters most to you in the season you're in. Some seasons are for growth, while others are simply for survival. A mom with toddlers, homeschool lessons, and client work may not be in a season where you can do everything. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are living in reality. Success should fit the season you are actually in. Success is building a life that matches your values. Your work from home life should be the engine that supports your homeschool. Yes, there will be busy seasons for your business, but it shouldn't consume your life. You work so it can provide the resources you need for your family. How to be successful is about creating a life that matches what you value most. And sometimes that is not the six-figure business. Success is not perfection. Sometimes good enough is enough. You don't need a perfect routine, perfect home, or perfect business plan to be successful. A good enough routine, one that makes everything run smoother. A good enough home, one that works for your family without adding stress. And a good enough business, one that gives you just what your budget is looking for while still having flexibility. Many times these are enough. Stop borrowing other people's definition of success and define it for yourself. Shift your mindset on how to be successful. Every family has different needs. How to be successful for me may not be the same for you, but there are some mindset shifts that we can all make to define success on our own terms. Here are 5 mindset shifts. Number 1, account for your limitations. Energy, health, and the age of your kids will affect your season of success. Working with a newborn is not going to be the same as working with a teen. This is not making excuses, but recognizing that there are things that will limit you. And that's okay. It is just a season. Ignoring your limitations does not make you stronger. It just makes you more tired. Number 2, ditch hustle culture. Hustle culture has been everywhere for years now. It tells us to work harder, sleep less, and keep pushing. But this falls apart quickly with family needs and everything else. I already get little sleep. How can I get even less? A life that looks productive but leaves you exhausted and miserable is not success. If you are struggling with mom burnout, maybe it's time to ditch hustle culture. Number 3, stop comparing. Comparison gets us every time, and it can make success feel impossible. Yes, it is easier for a mom with one child to be a homeschool curriculum snob and build a 6-figure business. That's her reality, but it is not mine. Trying to measure my success with someone else's measuring tape is going to leave me feeling like I'm not measuring up. Your trade-offs and struggles are not the same as someone else's polished image online. And to be honest, that polished image isn't showing you everything. Number 4, what are your real priorities? Your success needs to be defined by what is important to you. Maybe success means bringing in extra income without sacrificing homeschooling, or it means paying bills, reducing stress, or creating a calmer home rhythm. Define your success by your priorities. Number 5, it can change. The most important part of defining success is understanding that it can change. Your definition of success should change with your seasons. It doesn't need to stay the same as your family changes and your business grows. Your definition of how to be successful should change too. A better definition of how to be successful for this season. Success as a work from home mom is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about building a life that works for your family, reflects your values, and supports the season you are in right now. That kind of success may not always look impressive from the outside, but it is real. You do not need to chase a version of success that leaves you exhausted and discouraged. You can define success in a way that is practical, healthy, and honest. When you do, you stop chasing everything and start focusing on what matters most. And that is a much better way to define how to be successful. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out lifeunboxed.blog and download your Rebel Moms checklist. Happy homeschooling and working from home. See you next time.